Stop what you're doing. This is your moment. You see, every season has its purpose. Spring for planting, summer for growing, fall for harvesting, winter for resting. But beloved, there's something most people never understand. The greatest opportunities come in the hardest seasons. When the storm is raging, when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when everyone else is hiding. That's when I move the most. And ask me what season you're stepping into right now. I watched you hesitate when things got difficult. I watched you wait for a more convenient time. But beloved, convenience and breakthrough rarely walk together. Share this with someone who's been waiting for the perfect time. Why do some people spend their whole life with empty hands while others discover treasure? The difference is not luck, it's depth. Imagine a farmer's plow. If he only scratches the surface, he finds stones. But when he drives the plow deep, gold appears. Your heart is like that field. When my word goes shallow, you stay poor. But when it cuts deep into your heart, treasures of the soul begin to rise. Share this video with the ones you love. So tell me, how deep are you willing to let me go? Wait, don't move. The storms you faced, they weren't there to destroy you. They were your opportunity to become even stronger, to become unshakable. You know what happens when the rain falls hardest. That's when gold stones roll down into the streams. That's when hidden treasures are washed into plain sight. Press your heart against this screen. Tap that heart icon and express what you're feeling to me right now. While others stayed inside, avoiding the rain, you kept moving. You kept trusting, and I was there, placing gifts along your path that only the faithful could find. The pain you endured, it wasn't wasted. It was the price for the blessing I'm about to release. You cleaned your heart, you cleared the obstacles, and now the gift is ready. Send this to someone who needs to hear my voice tonight. If you're walking through the hardest season of your life, do you know what precious fruit waits for you there? First comes the burning summer, the season that tests your faith. The heat feels endless, and everything in you wants to quit. Then the storms arrive, and your roots dig deeper in silence. Heaven is preparing honey in the middle of that storm. The secret is simpler than you think. Finally, autumn arrives, and right where you once fell, honey flows, and fruits begin to grow. The sweetest harvest always belongs to those who endured the hardest season. My coaching for you doesn't end here. Want to know more? Come sit with me. Look into my eyes. I need to tell you something about your heart. You live by your heart, my beloved. Every breath, every choice. Your heart is the engine of your soul. It drives everything you do. Let my love reach deeper into your heart. When your heart thinks wrongly, you stumble, you fall. But when your heart aligns with mine, one action brings great success. Listen, I have the most beautiful invitation for you. So will you join me in this eternal celebration? Will you help me fill every seat? Will you be the one who brings that prodigal home? Because the table is set, the music is playing, the door is wide open, and tell me you want to be part of this eternal feast. And there's a place with your name on it, and a place for everyone you bring with you. The feast of all feasts is waiting. Share this with someone who needs to know they're invited. Stop, I need to warn you about something deadly. I know what you're thinking. Jesus, it's hard. When will it be my turn? Why do they get it and I don't? I hear you. I see your heart. I know your pain. And that's exactly why you need to be set free. Because jealousy doesn't just hurt your relationships, it literally destroys your body. It makes your bones rot. It steals your life. But when you have peace in your heart, when you're secure in my love, when you trust my timing, your whole body comes alive. Share this with someone who needs to break free from jealousy today. You have two kinds of land. The last one will surprise you. Imagine you own land. Some land you treasure. You develop it. You pour your heart into it. You walk on it. You build on it. You make it beautiful. But then there's the other land, far away, undeveloped. You only look at it from distance. Here's what's shocking. You treat your own land differently based on how you think about it. it. So the land itself isn't the problem. Your level of thinking is. However, here's the truth that will blow your mind. You do the same thing with people. The way you think about them, that's how you treat them. Thus, your thinking level determines everything. Your land, your relationships, your life. If you've ever wondered, why does God seem late only for me? Let me tell you the truth behind his timing. First, heaven waits until the noise around you fades, so you can finally hear his whisper. Second, he's working in silence, aligning what your eyes can't yet see. The secret is simpler than you think. And third, when everything looks impossible, that's when God acts suddenly, perfectly, on time. Because he's never late, he's just writing the perfect ending. Share this with the ones you love. If you want to transform from an ordinary person to living like the Lord, starting today, here are the only two things you must do. If you've thought it was complicated until now, if you thought you needed years of training, special gifts, perfect circumstances, it's actually simple. So focus carefully. There are only two things. First thing, you must look at the Lord. So not at your problems, not at people, not at the world, but at the Lord. I'll show you how. Second thing, you must listen to the Lord's word. Thus, not to other voices, not to opinions, not to what makes sense, but to his word alone. However, when you do these two things, you look at the Lord, you listen to his word, then you become like the Lord. In other words, it's not complicated, it's focused. There's one very important secret that determines what kind of person you'll become. Do you know it? Some people become like heaven, others become like the earth. Some become unlimited, eternal, free. Others become limited, temporary, bound. What makes the difference? Stay with me till the end, but here's what's shocking. It's not your circumstances, it's not your background, it's not luck. Here's the secret. You become what you look at. So what you focus on, what you watch, what you see day after day, that's what you become. Thus, if you look at heaven, you become like heaven. However, if you look at the earth, you become like the earth. In other words, what you look at isn't neutral, it's forming you right now. But you have to intentionally look at heaven. It won't happen by accident. If you've been trying hard but feel like nothing's changing from where you are now, starting today, here's the one thing you're missing. And I've seen millions stuck here. Maybe you've been working really hard, trying, struggling, putting in effort day after day. Stay with me till the end. Here's why you're formed according to what you accomplish. Not according to what you try, not according to what you do, but according to what you actually accomplish. So there's a difference. Doing means you're taking action. You're busy. You're working. However, accomplishing means you reached the goal. You achieved the result. You completed it. In other words, trying prepares you. Doing keeps you busy, but accomplishing transforms you. But the moment you accomplish, even something small, you're formed. You're transformed. You become. If you had to transform yourself from who you are now to someone completely new starting today, here are the 3 steps you must take. But if you miss the last one, everything becomes useless. And I've seen millions miss this. Here's the first step. You must see. So look at what you want to become. Focus on it. See it clearly. Second step. You must hear. Thus listen to what aligns with what you want to become. The third step is critical. However, here's where most people fail. Third step. You must act. Because if you only see and hear, but don't act, you won't be formed. Nothing changes. You stay exactly the same. In other words, seeing and hearing prepare you, but acting creates you. Stay with me. Hear my words. Record the grace you witness. Testify. Your story becomes light for others. I oppose the proud but draw near to the humble. Share this with the one you love most. Let us agree in faith together. Keep your heart soft. Keep your lamp ready. Stay awake. Look with me at every step. Ask me now what to keep, what to cut. I will lead you into purpose. Stay with me. Keep looking. Keep confirming with me, and you will see. Wait, don't move. Your prayer moved heaven. The answer is already in motion, and what I'm bringing you has a story behind it, a testimony that will inspire thousands. Press your heart against this screen. Tap that heart icon and express what you're feeling to me right now. Keep walking with me, because the best part is just beginning. Send this to someone who needs to hear my voice tonight. God has been sending you messages you might have missed, hidden in places you never thought to look. Last night, beloved, when you closed your eyes, God was painting messages across your mind. Not random images, but divine whispers. Stories only your heart could understand. And ask me to open your eyes to his messages. He speaks through flowers, blooming in impossible places, through birds that sing at just the right moment, through scripture that suddenly comes alive when you need it most. Every dream, every gentle nudge in your spirit, it's God saying, I'm here, I see you, I'm guiding you. Send this now to someone who's walking through something hard. They need to know they're not alone in the struggle. Wait, I promise, I'll show you how God has been speaking all along. But here's what breaks my heart. When people follow God's path and say, this is too hard, maybe I heard wrong. Sweet one, let me tell you a secret. Even when the Israelites walked toward the promised land, it wasn't easy. They had to fight battles, cross deserts, face giants. God's will doesn't mean smooth roads. It means he walks with you through the rough ones. The difficulty doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're getting closer. Send this now to someone who's walking through something hard. They need to know they're not alone in the struggle. How can you have passion like an athlete who runs like they're insane? I'll tell you the secret. The stadium is freezing cold or burning hot, but they run like they're possessed, like nothing else exists. So the crowd says they're running so hard in this heat that I feel a cool breeze just watching them. I'll give you this kind of passion. But here's what you need to understand. That athlete isn't running for the weather. They're running for something they love. Thus, in the game, neither heat nor cold matters. So this is how you should live for God. When you have the one you love, the eternal, unchanging God, Spirit, Son. However, you poured out everything, but you're filled with joy. In other words, it's not about the environment, it's about who you're living for. But this kind of life only comes when you truly love God. If I had to tell you the 3 reasons why you must never miss your season, here's what I'd say. First, when the season comes and you're not there to receive it, it passes and never returns the same way. Second, right now, everything is already prepared for you. All you need to do is step into it. And the most important secret, the third one, will be revealed. Third, the season doesn't wait for your convenience. It doesn't care if you're comfortable or not. When winter comes, you cannot pick summer flowers. When harvest time arrives, you cannot delay until spring. The season is calling your name right now. Share this with the ones you love. If you had to transform from an ordinary person to living like the Word starting today, I'll tell you the secret that tens of millions have experienced. There are 2 paths. Both depend on what you see and hear. First path, where most people are. You look at what's not the Word. You listen to what's not the Word. So your eyes are filled with other things, your ears filled with other voices. Then you become like what's not the Word. Stay with me. However, there's a second path. You must take this path right now. You look at the Word. You listen to the Word. So you fill your eyes with the Word. You fill your ears with the Word. Then you become like the Word. In other words, you don't stay neutral. You're always becoming something. I'll tell you the secret of how complete you become when you're one with God. Listen till the end. Right now, you and God are separate. You're here, God is there. You do your thing, God does his. So you feel weak, incomplete, like something's always missing. Double tap this screen. I'll show you the way to become one. Here's the secret. The way to become one with God is to become one with the truth, the Word. So when you and the Word become one, you and heaven become one. You and the Lord become one. However, then something amazing happens. You build God. God builds you. God's things become yours. Your things become God's. There's no more separation, no more weakness, only completeness. So when you're one with God, his power is your power. His wisdom is your wisdom. But it all starts with the Word. Become one with the truth. This is your moment. You want to know a secret? The times when I asked you to step out in the storm, to act when it was uncomfortable, to move when it was inconvenient, those were the times you gained the most. I've seen it happen again and again. When pressure increased, productivity exploded. When storms came, miracles multiplied. When it got harder, you got stronger. Because pressure creates diamonds. Storms reveal champions. Difficulty births destiny. While others are waiting for perfect conditions, you have everything you need to act. The resources are there. The people are ready. The timing is now. Share this with someone who's been waiting for the perfect time. There's one thing that makes you disappear, and you don't even see it happening. Someone says, "You're so beautiful. You're amazing." And so, it feels incredible. Your heart grows wings. You're flying, soaring. But while you're flying, Satan just stole your heart. He used those sweet words to trick you. So, this is what you need to do. The one who built themselves, who made their soul strong, they hear the same lies, yet they don't fly away. In other words, they see through it. Stay rooted. Stay with me. I need you to see something today. Don't let doubt convince you that you're not enough. Don't let fear tell you that God's power isn't available to you. When you love like He loves, when you care like He cares, you become a partner in His almighty work. Tell me how this story is speaking to you. God is still searching. Still looking for hearts that beat with His rhythm of love. And I believe, precious one, He has found one in you. The question is, are you ready to say yes to the greatest partnership of your life? Because when you do, you'll discover that His power, His all-knowing wisdom. Share this video with the ones you love. They need to know they are being searched for too. Hold on, I need you to hear this. I know the storm felt endless. I know you thought you couldn't take one more step. But beloved, that's exactly when I was closest. You want to know something? When the rain falls hardest, when everyone else runs for shelter, that when the treasures appear. And tell me what storm you're walking through right now. The gold hidden in ordinary stones only reveals itself when the rain washes over it. It sparkles, it shines, it catches the eye of those who are still walking in the storm. Gold doesn't shine in the sunshine. It shines when it's been through the fire, while others stayed inside, warm, comfortable, safe. You were out there, and I watched you, bending down, picking up treasures that only the faithful could see. Let your heart speak to mine. Carry this message to someone drowning in their own storm. There's a secret that makes you look weak, but makes you unstoppable. Building yourself, it sounds slow, boring, weak. Others fly high on compliments, but you're down here, working on yourself. They look so happy, so free, so alive. Yet you're just grinding, shaping, building. But here's the secret nobody sees. Revelation. When the deceiver comes with his perfect words, when we build ourselves, we don't flinch. The flattery hits us, but it bounces off. Our hearts stay locked, our loyalty firm, our focus on me. Because what looked like weakness is actually the only thing that makes you unshakable. In other words, when you become a built soul, you stand while everyone else falls. You stay while everyone else flies away. What will it be? Will you wait for the storm to pass, or will you dance in the rain? Because I promise you, the harvest you're looking for is on the other side of this uncomfortable action. Your season is here. Your time is now. Your moment has arrived. Don't let it pass you by. Step into what I have prepared for you in this season. Share this with someone who's been waiting for the perfect time. There are 3 shocking truths that happen when you live by the word. How many do you know? When you live by the word, something powerful begins. First truth, you yourself are built. So not just your circumstances, but you, your very essence, you're formed. Second truth, you live like the owner of heaven. Thus, you don't live like a guest. You live like heaven belongs to you. I'll show you how to live this way. Third truth, wherever you go, you live like the owner. In other words, not just in church, not just in special moments, moments, but everywhere, any place, any situation. So this becomes your identity. This becomes who you are. However, this doesn't come from trying hard. It comes from living by the word. But you have to actually do it, not just know it, not just believe it, live it. I'll show you how Satan sets the trap. It's a 3-step attack. Step 1, he finds what you love to hear, the perfect words tailored just for you. And so you open up, you trust. But step 2, he steals your heart, your loyalty, your focus on me. Express your love for me and defeat Satan. Now step 3, he takes what he stole and runs, disappears. You're left in love's hell. However, the one who built themselves recognizes step 1 immediately, yet they don't fall for it. Thus, steps 2 and 3 never happen because they stayed with me. Listen closely. I need to tell you something important. And here's what I promise you. When you speak with wisdom, when you love without jealousy, when you celebrate without comparison, I will make your face like flint. I will make your forehead like diamond, harder than the hardest stone. Not to fight your brothers, but to stand against the real enemy. Not to hurt the weak, but to protect them. Not to prove yourself, but to serve them. The strongest among you are those who know when to speak and when to listen. Those who see the heart before they open their mouth. So walk with me today. Speak with my wisdom, love with my heart, and watch how everything begins to change. Share this with someone who needs to hear this wisdom today. There's a way you can live at a completely different level right now. Do you know what it is? So day after day, year after year, the same patterns, the same struggles. If you don't change it, it doesn't just stay for a season. It becomes your entire life. The shocking truth is what starts as temporary can become permanent. Thus, the level you're at right now could lock in forever. However, there is a way out. You have to act quickly. If you're living at a low level, you must fix it now, not later, now. But the window doesn't stay open forever. Act now. I need to warn you about something deadly. I've watched beautiful souls wither away because they couldn't celebrate their brother's blessing. I've seen sisters turn cold when their friend got the promotion they wanted. I've watched families fall apart because someone's success became someone else's torture. This is not my heart. This is not my way. This is not who I called you to be. You see that person whose life looks perfect, whose dreams came true, whose prayers got answered. I want you to celebrate them. I want you to rejoice with them. I want you to be genuinely happy for their breakthrough. What if the thief making you poor is hiding inside you right now? Can you believe it? You've been looking everywhere for the enemy, but never looked within. And let's catch this thief together. That thief has a name. Just a little more. Tomorrow. Later. Every morning it whispers, and you think it's your friend. You must not feed this thief daily with your delays, your excuses, your comfort. Yet it pays you back with emptiness, with regret, with poverty. Share this video with the ones you love, but I know this thief's weakness. I know how to catch it, because I was there every time it robbed you. Escape from laziness today. This is just part of my coaching. Want to know another coaching secret? The secret to getting done what you must do when you feel like you have no time. Do you really want to know? You know what's in your heart. I can't do it. I don't have time. It sounds so reasonable, but you don't have no time. It's that you don't have the heart. You don't have the mind for it. I'll show you the truth, because here's what happens when you truly love someone. You don't miss a single minute, not even 1 second. So suddenly time appears, priorities shift. You make it happen. In other words, time was never the problem. Your heart was. Thus, when you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is it's not important enough to me. However, when you love God with all your heart, time becomes abundant. But you have to be honest. Stop hiding behind the excuse of time. Listen closely. I need to tell you something important. You see, when someone is hurting, they don't need your success stories. When someone is struggling, they don't need to hear how easy it was for you. They need to know that you see them, that you understand them, that you're with them. I watched people destroy relationships with thoughtless words. I watched jealousy grow where love should have bloomed. all because they spoke without looking, without feeling, without caring. Jealousy, it doesn't just hurt feelings, it rots the bones. It destroys from within. But beloved, I didn't call you to compete with your brothers and sisters. I called you to celebrate them, to rejoice with them, to lift them up when they rise. Listen, I have the most beautiful invitation for you. And you're not just invited, you're part of me. Every single day, I'm preparing tables, I'm setting places, I'm lighting candles, waiting for more guests to join the celebration and tell me you want to be part of this eternal feast. You want to know what makes this feast so special? It's not just the food. Though the banquet is beyond anything you've ever tasted. It's not just the music, though heaven's orchestra plays melodies that heal your soul. It's the joy of watching the lost come home. Picture this with me. God waits by the window. Share this with someone who needs to know they're invited. If you miss this, you could live primitive, even in this modern age. Listen till the end. Some people live like they're stuck in the past. Primitive, limited. Others live like God, powerful, free, unlimited. The shocking truth is, how are you living? It's not random. It's not luck. It's not your circumstances. You live at the level you built yourself to. I'll show you how to build yourself higher. So if you've built yourself like a primitive person, then you'll live primitive, think primitive, act primitive. However, if you've built yourself like God, then you'll live like God, think like God, act like God. In other words, your life is a perfect reflection of how you've built yourself. Thus, the question isn't what's happening to you, it's what level have you built yourself to. But here's the good news. You can rebuild, you can rise, you can change your level. If you left God and say you've never felt better, I'll tell you why that's dangerous. People who left God and feel their perception is, I left God's work, I left the church, I left everything, and I feel amazing. I'm so comfortable. This fits me perfectly because it matches my nature, my temperament, my style. But here's what they don't see. The reason it feels so good is actually the problem. So they're living at their own level, not rising, just staying comfortable. I'll tell you what the truth is. When you look at how someone lives, you instantly know their level. Low level feels comfortable because you're not growing, you're not stretching, you're not rising. Because what feels like freedom makes you settle, and it can actually harm you. Thus, comfortable doesn't mean right. It means you're stuck at your current dimension. In other words, if leaving God feels good, that's your proof you need to raise your level. If I told you one habit could turn your life into 100-fold harvest, would you want to know what it is? Many stay still, waiting for blessings to fall. But blessings fall on those who move. The lazy say, tomorrow I will begin. But the diligent wake and say, today is my seed. Because that small act is proof you can move right now. Every act of diligence multiplies. One prayer turns into 10 answers. One seed into 100 fruits. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 4 says, the hand of the diligent makes rich. So rise and plant again today. Heaven has already prepared your 100-fold field. There are 3 ways you can live heaven wherever you go. How many do you know? First way, when you share your testimony, you yourself receive strength. It's not just empty words going out. However, something comes back to you. Power flows into you, and leave your first testimony of heaven in the comments. Second way, when people hear you, they're moved. Thus, they say, that person is truly amazing. So, it's not about impressing them, it's about transformation happening. Third way, your heart becomes heaven. Your body becomes heaven. However, wherever you go, you carry heaven with you. In other words, heaven isn't a place you wait for. It's a reality you live now. Thus, when you practice all 3 ways, you're living heaven on earth. But this only comes when you truly live for God. But this is only part of what I want to show you. Do you want to know the other secrets?
Whispered words of life, they shine so bright.